William Patterson. Can you hear us okay, William? Hartford, Connecticut. There's already 251 people watching, and we just started it. All right, you're going to talk to Melissa for just a few minutes, and we're going to get started here in about 5 minutes.
About 5 minutes, okay.
Hannah, if you want, you can play a little bit of music, I guess. We'll start in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Wait till some more people get in here. And then, Melissa, remember, if you have to, you can adjust this back here to
Oh,
tilt it
right.
up.
Well, looking at it, that whole area.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got to make sure. Okay. Howard, Dennis, welcome. Derek, Doug, Louise, James, Stephen, Nelson, Larry, Tom, Ed. Okay, we're going to be starting in a few minutes.
All right, we have 2,000 people watching right now. That's awesome. We're going to be getting started here in just a few minutes. Yeah, we have a pretty decent turnout here tonight, not compared to what we're used to. Like, as I said earlier, we don't have all the food and the tables and all that. Everyone just kind of showed up, and we're going to do the fireworks. But it's going to be a really, really good show. It is. Without having to prepare for everything else, all the food and all that stuff, we were able to focus on the fireworks. And it should be a really good show. The way this is going to go down, I'll tell you the first part. We're going to play a recording on how the national anthem came to be. Following that, we'll sing the national anthem, and then I'll just leave it at that for now, and you'll be surprised with the rest of it. So the actual fireworks will start probably about 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes after the national anthem, something like that. But it is a beautiful night here in Pennsylvania. It is, and we really appreciate everyone being here. We already have 3,000 people in here right now watching.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now that camera, when does that go on?
Yeah, I'll turn that on in a minute. Hannah, you can pause that now. All right, it's 9:31. I say we wait till about 9:35, and we'll start at 9:35.
Let's see if they can probably take a seat.
I'll just turn it on when I'm
Okay. Okay. Happy 4th of July. All right. So we're just doing a few more things before we begin. Some more people are coming in, and then we'll begin.
Get a little. Someone sent us a super chat for $25. We're gonna have to go back through these. We really appreciate that.
Let me ask Levi.
Thank you very much.
Computer?
No, he's good.
Okay.
We're all good.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Hey, Carl. Come here, Carl.
Yes, sir.
Friend of ours, Carl Johnson. Say hi to 4,000 people watching you right now.
Hello. These are the most wonderful people ever. Okay, the Morgans are awesome.
Oh, Carl would say that about a stump.
Yeah, we're live
Thank
streaming
you.
this on our YouTube channel, and people are just starting to join us now.
Well, wonderful. This
Yeah.
is
Thanks so
the
much for
greatest
coming.
event of the year.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for those super chats. We appreciate it. Elkins, West Virginia. The guy singing the national anthem is Ed Hill. He sings for WVU basketball and some for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's who will be singing the national anthem for us. New Jersey. Troll Killer, you're here. Michael, nice.
Is Mike Hall on?
Yeah, he's there.
Okay.
I just saw him.
Hey, Mike, you're going to be busy.
You're going to be busy tonight, Mike.
And Joe, we have to make Joe Rocker one.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
I don't know how to do it right now. Street rocker.
Okay.
And I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, we got everything going right good. Occasionally, as the show goes on, Melissa may have to adjust the camera just a little bit, but we'll see. But we appreciate it.
Hi from Monroeville.
Monroeville.
Okay, there's
a super chat from Lewis. Thank you, Lewis.
Thanks, Lewis. Wow. Okay. So what time is it?
4,500 watching right now. It's 9:33. I'm going to just kind of make an announcement that we're going to get started in 2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes.
And Ed knows when. Yep. Okay.
All right, everybody, we're going to get started in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And the way this will work is after the national anthem, if you could just be quiet for a few minutes after the national anthem, our neighbor Tom Anthony will be playing taps from across the road.
Can you hear my?
And then the show will begin.
Thanks, Lyle.
We're going to start with the recording that we use every year, followed by Ed will be singing the national anthem, and he is fantastic. We'll have taps played, and then we'll start the show after that. So give us about another minute and a half, and we'll get started.
Okay. All right.
What do you think? Last year we worried about the weather. I mean, it rained, we got delayed. It hasn't rained here in what, 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, it's pretty dry.
So there's a fire extinguisher in the back of my truck, Melissa. If I'm yelling or something, you might want to bring that down. I put it's supposed to be a flame resistant tarp over top of the Woodmizer. We'll see how well that works. May have a fire sale on it in the morning. We'll see. Should be good though.
Don't say that.
All right, I think we're about ready.
Yeah.
Hannah?
All right, thanks everyone.
Take it away, Hannah. Hannah's on music. You got your radio on?
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Dave. Dave, wow. Okay, I have to be quiet. Can you hear that?
There was a lawyer once, his name was Francis Scott Key. He penned a song that I'm sure you're aware of. You've seen it. It's in most hymnals throughout our churches. It's called the National Anthem. It is our song as an American. We go, however, to a ball game. We stand in our church services and we sing the words of that song, and they float over our minds and our lips, and we don't even realize what we're singing. Most of us have memorized it as a child, but we've never really thought about what it means. Let me tell you a story. Francis Scott Key was a lawyer in Baltimore. The colonies were engaged in vicious conflict with the mother country, Britain. Because of this conflict and the protractedness of it, they had accumulated prisoners on both sides. The American colonies had prisoners and the British had prisoners. And the American government initiated a move. They went to the British and they said, let us negotiate for the release of these prisoners. They said, we want to send a man out to discuss this with you. They were holding the American prisoners in boats about 1,000 yards offshore. And they said, we want to send a man by the name of Francis Scott Key. He will come out and negotiate to see if we can make a mutual exchange. On the appointed day, in a rowboat, he went out to this boat and he negotiated with the British officials. And they reached a conclusion that men could be exchanged on a one-for-one basis. Francis Scott Key, jubilant with the fact that he'd been successful, went down below in the boats, and what he found was a cargo hold full of humanity, men. And he said, men, I've got news for you tonight. You're free. He said, tonight I have negotiated successfully your return to the colonies. He said, you'll be taken out of this boat, out of this filth, out of your chains. As he went back up on board to arrange for their passage to the shore, the admiral came and he said, we have a slight problem. He said, we will still honor our commitment to release these men, but it'll be merely academic after tonight. It won't matter. And Francis Scott Key said, what do you mean? He said, well, Mr. Key, he said, tonight we have laid an ultimatum upon the colonies. Your people will either capitulate and lay down the colors of that flag that you think so much of, or you see that fort right over there, Fort Henry? He said, we're going to remove it from the face of the earth. He said, how are you going to do that? He said, if you will, scan the horizon of the sea. And as he looked, he could see hundreds of little dots. And he said, that's the entire British war fleet. He said, all of the gunpowder, all of the armament is being called upon to demolish that fort. It will be here within striking distance in a matter of about 2.5 hours. He said, the war is over, these men would be free anyway. He said, you can't shell that fort. He said, that's a large fort. He said, it's full of women and children. He says, it's predominantly not a military fort.
Levi.
He said, don't worry about it.
Sit right here.
They said, we've left them a way out. And he said, what's that? He said, do you see that flag way up on the rampart? He said, we have told them that if they will lower that flag, the shelling will stop immediately. And we'll know that they've surrendered, and you'll now be under British rule. Francis Scott Key went down below and told the men what was about to happen. And they said, how many ships? He said, hundreds. The ships got closer. Francis Scott Key went back up on top and he said, men, I'll shout down to you what's going on as we watch. As twilight began to fall, and as the haze hung over the ocean as it does at sunset, suddenly the British war fleet unleashed. He says the sound was deafening. There were so many guns that there were no relief. He said it was absolutely impossible to talk or hear. He said suddenly the sky, although dark, was suddenly lit. And he says from down below, all you could hear the men, the prisoners, saying was, tell us where the flag is. What have they done with the flag? Is the flag still flying over the rampart? Tell us. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours into the shelling. Every time the bomb would explode and it would be close to the flag, they could see the flag in the illuminated red glare of that bomb, and Francis Scott Key would report down to the men below, it's still up. It's not down. The Admiral came and he said, your people are insane. He said, what's the matter with them? He said, don't they understand this is an impossible situation? Francis Scott Key said he remembered what George Washington had said. He said the thing that sets the American Christian apart from all other people in the world is he will die on his feet before he'll live on his knees. The Admiral said, we have now instructed all of the guns to focus on the rampart to take that flag down. He said, we don't understand something. Our reconnaissance tells us that that flag has been hit directly again and again and again, and yet it's still flying. We don't understand that. But he said, now we're about to bring every gun for the next 3 hours to bear on that point. Francis Scott Key said the barrage was unmerciful. All that he could hear was the men down below praying. The prayer, God, keep that flag flying where we last saw it. Sunrise came. He said there was a heavy mist hanging over the land, but the rampart was tall enough. There stood the flag, completely nondescript, in shreds. The flagpole itself was at a crazy angle. The flag was still at the top. Francis Scott Key went aboard and immediately went into Fort Henry to see what had happened. And what he'd found had happened was that that flagpole and that flag had suffered repetitious direct hits. And when hit had fallen, but men, fathers, knew what it meant for that flag to be on the ground. Although knowing that all of the British guns were trained on it, walked over and held it up humanly until they died. Their bodies were removed and others took their place. Francis Scott Key said what held that flagpole in place at that unusual angle were patriots' bodies. He penned the song, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, or the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of bursting in air gave the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
Bravo.
Okay, if you listen carefully, our neighbor is playing taps. Can you hear that? Yeah, good job. Listen. Can you hear the taps? Anyone?
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
His grace on me.
not done. Hang on. What do you think so far? Sorry, I'm trying to adjust it. Okay, what'd you think? Mike will be up in a few minutes. Okay, you're not able to see, but everything here is kind of just smoke filled. Lonnie, what did you miss? You missed the whole thing? Okay, so Mike's coming up now. I'm going to take my phone out.
Thank you.
I closed my phone. There's Mike.
Good job, Mike.
I made it. Thanks, Bern.
Hey, I heard the new song.
Oh, did you? How'd it go with this tonight?
Good, good. Just getting it off the
Yeah.
tripod. I closed my phone by
second.
accident.
Damn. I'll
Oh,
get out
boy.
and check it a little bit.
Okay. Any questions?
Good job, Dan.
Thanks for all the super chats. I'm just now looking at them. I just want to explain.
Really neat down there, though.
Just a few moderators are on doing this by themselves, so thanks so much.
What do you think of that, Kurt? Pretty good.
All right, Mike's standing here with me, and he's probably going to be greeted by a lot of people leaving. Just to give you an idea. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so what do everybody think? This is the first time reading comments. I was down there looking at... That's good, man. How many people did we have on? There's 7,000 on right now.
Right.
That's fantastic. Good deal.
Those people leaving, do you know?
I don't know. Well, you want to wrap this video up? Ed, thank you so much for singing the national anthem.
Ed, thank you.
We appreciate it. Ed did a fantastic
Ed's
job.
one of our subscribers that he drove up.
Yeah, from Morgantown to sing the national anthem. 8,200 was the tops. That's fantastic. So tomorrow morning, if I get it edited, we'll put a video together showing the whole setup down there, and also, you know, from the different camera angles and stuff. The quality will probably be a little bit better than it was tonight, but we appreciate everyone watching. And
how many people do you think are here?
I don't know, we probably got 100 people here or something, you know,
Yeah.
a lot less than normal, but
Right.
it is just all smoke up
It
here
is
right
smoke,
now.
and that's why I said you probably can't see it on this.
Kurt, you want to say hi to these people? This is my cousin Kurt right here.
Hi, everybody. It's a great show. This rivals a
first
fair
time-
show. This was incredible fireworks show.
This is the first he's ever been here for it.
It's my first show, not my last. It was incredible.
So he's coming
Nice
back.
job, Mike.
Thanks.
Nice job, Melissa.
Thanks, Kurt.
You like that, Kurt?
I did the camera work. Dave, you want to say hi?
Here's one of our firewood customers, Dave King
Yeah.
here.
Hi.
Can I
That
see
was
you
the
guys
most
there?
colossal firework display I've ever seen.
There's about 6,000 people watching you now, Dave.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm in the witness protection program, so probably shouldn't have put my face.
Dave's
dark.
not, it's not his real name.
I love you guys. That was
Thanks
really
so
good.
much. Thanks for coming.
Really
Really
good. Thanks
appreciate
so much.
it. Thank you.
Thanks, Kings. Well, we're going to wrap this up, guys. And like I said, tomorrow morning,
Oh, Dan. Hey,
expect
Dan.
another video. Dan, come here a second. One more thing. This is neighbor Cliff's son, Dan. He was
Dan.
down there helping me.
He's like a son to us.
He's like a son to... What do you think of that down there, Dan?
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've never been anywhere near that close. It was fireworks. It was intense. It was
Yeah.
intense. I mean, you could feel it raining down on your helmet. It was really cool. It was really cool.
They are head to toe with the FR gear. So
Covered in ash.
Yeah, covered
Everything
in ash.
flame retardant. It was
They came
good.
out looking like they were in a coal mine.
Yeah.
All right, I want to thank everyone so much for the super chats. I see them up above. I wasn't able to see all the ones
We'll be able
coming
to go
in.
back through them.
I know that Mike was
Oh,
helping.
someone just said a $50 super chat. Thank you very
Steve,
much.
thanks very much. I'm not sure if Mike did this all by himself.
Another 49. Thank you so much.
Thank you
everyone.
so much. 3,000 likes, that's great.
Yeah, so was the view... I don't know. I sent Snowman a
Snowman?
text earlier. But was the view good and everything for you guys? Like I said, tomorrow's video will be even better. But it's nice doing it live and seeing the interaction and all that. It's really cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll let the smoke settle. All right, I wanted to say thank you so much. Really appreciate all of the super chats and
Yep.
any last minute questions.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks everybody, and we'll do more live streams. Not too many with fireworks like this, though.
Right.
Thanks,
Probably
Dan.
can't see us very well.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna
All
close this out.
Okay.
Talk to you guys soon.
Where do I do that? I can't remember.
That right there. And hit end.
Okay.